Hey everyone, I'm Anso and you are in my design studio. We made a flipper, but that's not all. It's also a slip joint. And that's not even the most special thing about this little knife that I call on. If you tag along, you'll see all about it and how you get to own one of these. The on. This is a project that I've been working on the design for the better part of a year, and the team and I has been working on the physical prototypes for the last 3 or 4 months. We launched it, or soft launched it, at the Blade Show in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, and we sold a handful of the prototypes at a previous drop, my shop drop, that is a bi-weekly sale of the knives that we make here. Now it's time to actually officially launch the on, and it's now. The on is a flipping knife, it's a slip joint, and it has some cool features that we'll dive into a little later. It's a double detent slip joint. This is a mechanism that was invented by Bob Tossaola, who's a good friend of mine, and he allowed me to use that mechanism in the custom folder that I make, that I call Monte Carlo. I've been making this for more than a decade now. It's up in the 800s, I think, that I've made custom-made Monte Carlos, and that has really proven the mechanism for me. The on uses the exact same mechanism. It's hidden behind these inlaid scales, and that is one of the cool features about it. This is a fully ambidextrous knife. The clip will detach and you can orientate it to the left or the right, or you can even add a small tab if you prefer to carry it without a clip. Right now we are offering it with a blade, with a flipper. Later on we will also add a blade that will have a nail nick. We will have the scale material in several different options. Right now we have it in carbon fiber, various micatas and G10s. But down the line we will also be offering inlays in brass, bronze, zirconium, Damascus, all different kinds of stuff. Maybe inlays with inlays, engravings, what have you. This is born to be customized by you. So when you buy one of these, you pick the materials that you want. Down the line, you'll be able to buy different inlays, different blades, different clip options, and so on, and making this a true customizable blade that you can actually change the parts on yourself. One of the key elements in an everyday carry folder, in my opinion, is that it has a size that's small enough that you actually put it in your pocket every single day. A 4-inch bladed folder is usually too big to carry most of the places, and if it's laying at home, it won't do you no good. And that's why I designed the blade on the on to be only 2.2 inches. And that's about 66 millimeters. Overall length of this small little knife is only 5.5 inches. That's about 14 centimeters. So it's a small yet capable knife, and it actually fits perfectly in your 5th jeans pocket. And in my opinion, that makes it a perfect everyday carry knife because it's always with you. That it's a slip joint, well, some of you might be a little on the fence about carrying a slip joint as an everyday carry, but in my opinion, if you're using the knife right, it being a slip joint won't cause you any problems. If you use it to drill a hole, well, maybe then it will fold on you, but if you use it as a cutting tool, I have yet to cut myself on a slip joint because it folded, unless I was using it wrong. Another aspect of carrying a small knife is the low weight. This is only 50 grams. 50 grams, that's 1.8 ounces. So it literally disappears in your pocket, which I also think is pretty cool. having it a non-locking blade will allow you to carry it in most cities that also have strict laws against locking knives. But that's not all. You can carry it basically everywhere, and having a small knife also usually goes unnoticed among non-knife carrying people. And now I think it's time to dive into the more finer details of the on. So let's zoom in. So let's dive into some of the finer details of the on. So first of all, we have some very dedicated placed knurlings on the flipper and on the tang here, so you can grab hold of the knife very close to the edge and still be very secure in your grip. Now next is the placement of the clip attachment. A single screw attaches the clip, and that's really the only screw that is visible here except for the pivot screw. So let's take the clip off and I'll show you how easy it is to uninstall the clip. And if you prefer it, we also made this what I call a clip delete. So just a small titanium tabs that replaces the clip, so you have a clean surface here without any snagging, so you can carry it in the bottom of your pocket or in a small leather pouch. So that was one feature. Now taking off that one screw once more. Now we dive into the finer details here. Notice this small T-slot here. The handle scales sits, or inlays sits in a T-slot that allows you that once you've taken off the clip, you can simply slide the handles out and replace them if that's what you want, or simply just to gain access to the interior of the knife. But it's that fast to change appearance of your daily carry knife here. And there you go. A complete change of inlays within seconds. I've never seen this done in a custom knife or a factory knife before, so I think that is pretty unique. I'm super proud that we were actually able to make this happen. Now diving into the next detail of the knife, the lanyard hole. This is something that I strongly feel about. It's actually one of my design pet peeves around a folding knife. I want it to be possible to add a lanyard in case you go somewhere where losing a knife will be devastating to you, actually dangerous, on a canoe trip, on a mountain hike, whatever. Or that you simply just don't like the possibility of losing your expensive knife. Or maybe you like to add a small lanyard fob. That right here allows you to do that. But I also understand that some don't like lanyards, so we are also making a lanyard-less spacer. The blade on this one is brushed damage steel, and that is only one of the options of blades that we will have available for this. The standard blade steel is RWL 34, which is the same steel as we use in the Aros and the Toko, our other shop-built knives, but actually also in all my custom knives that has a standard blade steel. So in this case it's brushed damage steel, but we will offer it in RWL 34 and Sanmai steels, and down the line we will probably also offer it in limited runs in other steels. But for now, RWL is the standard steel on these. Now I wanted to give you a little size comparison to the other two folders in our shop build line. This is the Aros and this is the Toko. You might already own one of these or know somebody who owns one of these, but as you see, the On is just a little bit smaller than Aros and quite a bit smaller than the Toko. The blade steel is also somewhat thinner And on both these knives, this is 3 millimeters and this is 2.6 millimeters. So not a whole lot of difference, but still there's a significant thickness difference. And that is both because of the size of the knife, but also just because on a small slip joint, you don't really need all that much blade thickness. It's still a very, very strong blade, and the blade on the On is hollow ground, cup wheel ground, just like we do on the Toko and the Aros. And that allows us to get a super slim blade profile, so it's a real slicer. The blade runs on skiff bearings, and that makes flipping this knife just very, very sweet. Let's take a look at the internals a little bit. So it gives me a chance to demonstrate once again how easy it is to change the scales here. So I'm removing the clip, removing the scales or inlays. Now you can see how this is put together. So it's held together with 2 screws in the backspacer, only from one side. Inside we have 2 hardened steel dowels that helps with holding everything together precisely. It runs on ceramic ball detents, and this is what creates the non-locking lock feature, if you will. So it's held close and it's held open, but it's not locking. But the detent here holds the blade open and closed. So these were some of the finer details about the On flipping slip joint. This is available right now if you want to go and pre-order it. We will be making these on an order basis. You place a deposit on the website and we will be making these to the specs that you want. So check the links below for the link directly to my website for the On, and very soon we'll be making one of these for you. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode on the On flipping slip joint. Sign up for the newsletter, leave me a comment, hit like, and of course subscribe. And until next time, see you later.